today, and I wish my camera wasn't so blurry. Oh, we don't have the light. But it's decided to be acting up today. Either way, I'm going to be continuing the costume that I started last time, and I know I didn't get very far, and unfortunately, I probably won't be getting very far in this one either because I am going to have to go soon, but um, I'll show you what I have so far. Is what we did last time. It's just the glue, and it's dried now on these pieces that we did. So I think I'm probably going to sand it down. This time I have a sander. Looks like it's 6080 grit, unless it's, yeah, 6080 is I think that it is. And I'm going to use that to sand this down. I'm not sure if that's the best kind of sandpaper grit to use, but it's the kind I have. Also, once I finish that, I plan on taking it outside, and then I'm going to be using this, which is a silver spray paint, to hopefully get the gloss that I'm looking for on this. Unfortunately, if it doesn't work, because I've never done this before, if it doesn't turn out, I'm going to have to resort to metal, which means starting all over. I've already made this once in metal, but it was like this aluminum type metal, and it was very flimsy and didn't hold its shape very well. Every time I touched it, it seemed to bend. So this other metal that I got is a lot stronger, but it also is a lot more difficult to work with. So I hope I don't have to resort to that. And a lot of my friends that make costumes have been recommending that I just use foam and wood glue and then paint it. So I'm hoping that gets me the look that I'm going for. Oh, hello. I'm so glad that you could see me. Let's see. So it might sound annoying, but I'm going to start sanding. Let's see if I can make it visible for you. I'll move my phone. I was doing some different things with my phone the other day, and not with my phone, with my computer the other day, and ended up installing a different operating system, and now the time on my regular Windows operating system is messed up. So I need to have my phone nearby to keep track of the real time. I know how to fix it, but I just haven't yet. So Nitron hates this. He's sitting right next to me. I don't think I've ever showed you Nitron. I'll show you. Here, boy. Say hello. Hello, buddy. It was kind of dark, but yeah, that's him. He's hanging out in the cage right now. He just woke up. It's pretty early. And he likes to stay up late. Sorry if the sound is annoying. If it is, next time I'll find a way to mute the microphone so you don't have to hear it. I think that's probably... Okay. That's probably good for this one. But still, I think I want to add another layer of the wood glue, because my fear is that the spray paint will actually melt it. At least that's what people have been telling me. And wouldn't that just be a disgrace to have worked so long on this only for it to be melted in one of the final steps. This piece, I'm probably going to have to remove these and actually take it apart, unfortunately. I didn't want to do that at first, just wasn't in the mood, but in order for it to be glued properly and painted properly, I'm gonna have to do it. So I have my pliers with me today. Doing my nails is probably not a good decision right now, but luckily I can just glue them back on if anything happens. So these are just little divots. They're really not that difficult to remove. You can see the top and the bottom, kind of. And they just go together. And you can pull them apart pretty easy. I also have another part that I think I had in the thumbnail of my last video, but I never really showed you what it looked like live. And I think that's one of the funnest parts so far. There we go. Got the last of it. This one I'm going to have to take apart too in order to glue it. And I actually messed up when I first made the template and I was cutting it out. I had this bottom part backwards, so it's supposed to be attached in the middle, but when I cut it, these parts are on the outside, these parts are on the inside, and instead of buying even more foam and starting over, I decided to just maybe cut it down the middle, and maybe I can add something on the back that'll hold it together. But if it doesn't turn out very well, then I'll just go get more foam. It's not a big deal. Ah, this table is bumpy. But what's cool about this is that you can really see how the divots work. So this is supposed to be on a foot, and if this was like on your ankle, you can see how these will bend and move with you. So I thought that was kind of neat. I'm very bad at this. I'm very new at this. Maybe one day, imagine in like a year after I've been doing these videos, because I plan on doing them for a long time. Imagine if one day like I'm just really good and all these other videos are an embarrassment. That would be cool. Gotta keep track of that time. So this is almost taken apart by now. And then we're just gonna start adding more wood glue. I think I actually forgot to bring over maybe the little thing I was using to spread the glue last time, but we'll see. Alright, so as you can see, this guy has some spaces, like up here and around here, that he needs glued. Such a difference, right, between the foam and the glue. That you can tell it definitely adds some sturdiness to it, and that's kind of cool. But this is the one that I've already started, what is it called? Filing sandpapering. So this is the one that I'm probably going to start off with gluing again, and then I'll sandpaper the other ones, and I'll add more glue to them as well. When the weekend comes, I'm hoping I can make a lot more progress, or even maybe tomorrow night, since I don't stream every night, maybe tomorrow I can make a lot more progress. Be proud of your progress. Thank you so much. I'll try. It feels like I'm not doing very much. There's been a lot going on, I guess, in my life, and I haven't just had the capacity to do as much as I was doing before. And so it kind of feels like I'm falling behind in a way. I need to make another post on Instagram, because I haven't posted there in forever. But in order to do that, I need to have a finished piece that I can take pictures with. And maybe I'll just have to stop if this proves too difficult and do a different kind of piece. I wish this thing wasn't so bright. I feel so weird with my face all blurred out. It's a little better, maybe. Alright, let's see if we can see what I'm doing. Barely, but here it is. I think maybe next time, it'd be a good idea to not wear black on camera, especially with my face so white. It makes like a big contrast, and then the camera has a hard time focusing on me. But I plan on getting a better camera soon, and a ring light has been ordered, a much better one I mentioned before. So hopefully that helps a little bit. What should we use? Let's see. Well, I have these things that are still in their package. The little metal pieces, and I don't need to use the top part of the package, so maybe I'll use it to spread glue around a little bit. Should I just turn this camera off? I feel like it's causing more harm. And maybe I'll open the window a little bit. Even the window is too bright. One day I'm going to understand how to have a good setup, but not yet. So all I'm really doing is just spreading it out and trying to make it flat and even so that it requires less sanding in the future. But also this time, I really want to make sure I get to the corners of the piece. So that was lacking before. And those are the parts that are really going to hold the divots in place. So they need to be strong and not be eaten up by the spray paint. It almost feels like spreading nail polish in a way. I think I've finally learned how to spread nail polish, where it's like I used to be so afraid of using too much nail polish. Then it's like you just have to spread it evenly. And if it means having more on your brush than what you're comfortable with, then that's what you gotta do. Because it's gonna turn out really patchy if the paint runs out by the end of your stroke, So you wanna have a little extra, and you can always take a little bit off, but it's harder to add more, especially if you have something that's fast drying. Luckily, I don't think wood glue is too fast drying, so it works. You're really nice. Thank you for your compliments. It really does mean a lot. Like it's hard for me to do these videos a lot of times. Like it takes a lot of preparing, like mental preparation to be like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go live. And then I'm like, I'm not ready yet. And I do that like probably 20 times before I actually just press the go live button. But oh well. I think it'll get easier. Like it's fun once I start. It's just so hard to start. Maybe I'll stop by the craft store or something and see if I can get a paintbrush to do this with that would work better than my little flat surfaces I've been using. That's probably good. At least in that direction. You can see the difference in color from when the paint or the glue is fresh versus when the glue is dry. I think that's called oxidizing when it yellows like that. So I just add like a big thing of the glue and then I spread it out. And I'm really aiming to get the places that I've missed last time. Honestly, I really feel that, at least for Instagram, I should just do some quick kind of art that I'm very comfortable with and know how to create so I can finish it and just put out some more pictures there because I don't know, there's this pressure once you start putting things out and people start looking, you start to feel this pressure where like, I have to create more content. I haven't created content in so long. Or like you're gonna lose your audience. I don't want it to not be fun for me anymore. But at the same time, I do feel the pressure. I don't know how to reconcile that. I wish I could work a lot faster or just could stick to one thing, but I'm always all over the place. I never seem to be able to just master one thing. Always when you're trying to like create social media profiles because people want to see new things, you know, and like if they don't, then they stop looking, or the algorithms will push you out of their feeds. And there's something about creating art where you really want to share it with the world, I guess. The nice thing about wood glue, you just rub it on your fingers and it just comes right off. I like that. Right, so I think this one is for the most part done. I'm gonna let it, oh, maybe a little bit more, because I see some white patches, and the white patches make me nervous that the paint will eat through it. So maybe just a little bit more. Then after this one, I'm moving on to the next one. Watch as it turns out looking like armor and it doesn't end up looking like a robot. That would suck. And then I guess I just start over again. Nice thing about my YouTube channel, I can do whatever I want on here and there's not many people that are watching. It's not as much fear when I come on here, I guess. Like, being live and being on camera is really scary, but when it comes to art, like, I don't fear messing up as much on here because the audience is so much smaller. And that's kind of freeing, it's kind of nice. Even though, like, I'm not saying I have a big audience anywhere really, still, it's bigger than YouTube and that feels better. I'm a very shy person. Attention, like, gets me nervous, I guess. When people watch me do something, what is it called? What is that word for it? Performance anxiety. Yeah, I worry a lot about my performance. Okay, I think we're gonna leave this for now. And maybe I'll move on to the next one. But that's only a maybe because I gotta check the time. Definitely make sure you're having fun is a top priority. You can get burned out otherwise. That's so true. Like, yeah, I don't want this to become like a job. I don't want it to be something where like I feel like I have to do it. I want it to be fun for me. Because it's like an escape, you know, from the real world. It's like doing art and taking pictures. And if it ever became like a job, I think I would start to resent it. And how can you make art when like you resent what you're doing? Wouldn't make sense. Okay. Well, actually, it's getting to the point where I'm gonna have to go because I have something I need to do. But maybe I'll be back tonight or probably tomorrow at the latest. And I'll keep working on this and see if I can at least spray paint it. I can't bring my camera outside, so I'll spray paint some of it. And then next time I see you, you can see how the spray paint looks. And that might be fun, something new. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.